Hi there, it's Dalene, and you're listening to my YouTube channel where I share networking tips, how to open your business pitch so people actually listen. When you pitch your business, how do you usually start? After years of watching entrepreneurs pitch their ideas, services, and companies, I've noticed a clear pattern. Most people open presentations in one of three ways. Two of them kind of lose attention quickly. The other one works amazingly well. Let's walk through three of the most common pitch openings and why one of them truly connects. Strategy one, context overload. This is the most common approach and most familiar. It usually starts with good intentions and a heck of a lot of information. It may sound something like, "Hi, my name is Dalene. I'm the founder and CEO of." We started in 2019 when I noticed a gap in the market. Here's what we do, who we serve, and our mission statement. By the end of this presentation, you'll learn how to, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with this information. Problem is timing. When you lead with too much context, you overwhelm your audience before they have a reason to care, right? You're asking them to invest attention before you've really earned that. Most people are still trying to figure out why they should listen and instead are handed a full backstory. It is just so much easier to say first, "Oh, I'd love to hear about you and what you do and what you're excited about." Come up with a couple of easy questions because it doesn't take much to get people to talk about themselves. We love the sound of our own voice. And the reason I ask them to tell me first is because then if I really listen, actively listening, not to respond, but to really hear this person and see them making good eye contact, smiling and nodding, which is an encouragement for them to talk. And once they do that, I'm going to think of something that they have said that I can get back to. And sometimes I do say, "Tell me more." Those are the sweetest things you can ever say to somebody. Or, "You said something really important back there. Is this what you meant by that statement?" Now, I know that can be hard, but just listen. Listen like a sponge. Strategy two, zero context. The second approach tries to avoid being boring, but often swings too far in the opposite direction. These presenters jump straight into a hook. They share a random statistic, an unrelated story, or a motivational quote they saw online. They've been told to start with impact, so they do, but without context. The result feels disconnected. There's no clear link between what they are saying and why it matters to people listening. The audience is left trying to piece things together. Instead of sounding engaging, the pitch feels rehearsed. Instead of relatable, it feels generic. Impact without relevance does not build trust. Amy Cuddy does a wonderful TED Talk on trust, and she says, "Until people trust you, they don't hear a word you say." Now, I'm not sure how that hits you, but that really hit me. And what it taught me was I needed to ask more questions, right? I can direct the conversation by asking the questions that that person has told me that are important in their lives. So that's why really listening can help you really enjoy some beautiful, meaningful conversations. Strategy three, the right amount of context. And what I love about this is if you haven't watched a Sam Horn, she is a TED Talk Hall of Famer and runs the Intrigue Agency. And she teaches you how. There'll be a video link to her TED Talk here on how to create an intriguing introduction that can make people really want to imagine if you could actually enjoy meeting new people in more ways than going to just a networking event, because really business is everywhere. So you know what? That's what I do. This is the approach that works. The strongest pitches begin with the problem the business solves. That is it. You start with something your audience recognizes immediately, a frustration that you have experienced, a challenge they're dealing with, a process that feels inefficient, confusing, or outdated. When you lead with a real problem, you position yourself differently. You are no longer talking about yourself. You are speaking directly into the world of the person listening. This shows empathy, it shows understanding, and it shows relevance. And those three things matter more than titles, credentials, or polished slides. At this point, your audience is not wondering who you are. They are thinking, "Yes, this is exactly what I deal with." Once they feel understood, They want to hear more. Now they are ready for your solution. Now they are open to your experience, your numbers, and your story. When you lead with the problem, you earn attention. When you lead with yourself, you ask for it. So here's a way of looking at that. So again, following Sam Horn's guidelines, I love this TED Talk video. I watch it about once a month. Would you, a friend, or a business associate need to network to grow their business, but the very thought of it gives them anxiety? Why this matters beyond the pitch. The approach does not just apply to formal presentations. It applies to networking conversations, introductions, and even online profiles. People do not connect with titles. They connect with understanding. When you speak from the perspective of the problem, you create a bridge. You invite conversation. You make it easier for someone to say, that sounds like me. And this is where meaningful connections really begin. So I highly recommend that you follow Sam Horn. She produces a fantastic newsletter. So do I. But if you want to learn how to do a pitch, I can help you. But Sam Horn is amazing. Think about the best pitch opening you have heard. Chances are it started with something that made you feel seen. Now think about the worst one. It likely asks you to care before giving you a reason to. The difference is not confidence or charisma, it's relevance. How can I support you? Communicating clearly and confidently is a key part of building strong relationships in business. You know, we have so many systems for pretty much everything in our lives, but I find most people do not have a system on how to grow their network efficiently, effectively, with a plan of action that works on a daily basis. That means really you can build a network without ever leaving home, totally on Zoom, and it can be just as rewarding. If you would like practical tips, encouragement, update on my upcoming events, you're welcome to join my monthly newsletter. Listen to my podcast, Network Equals Net Worth. It's not about the money, it's about the richness in our relationships. If you're looking for one-on-one coaching to do this, I love to work with people one-on-one. More important, if you want to come and do business in Atlantic Canada especially, I would love to help you. Reach out for more information. I hope you're having a fantastic day.